I think that's 100% right.
The whole aspect of sales, like what sales is a transfer of trust and getting someone else to be bought into what you're excited about. So if you're not making that connection and they don't feel it, they're going to find an excuse on like what to do if your sales rate does decrease. And number one is you need data. Just like I always ask, the first thing you need is data. And if you don't have data, you're going to be making blind decisions. So review your last 10 estimates and really look at why. So what were the objections? Were the decision makers present? Were the jobs decent? Or was it just like some bad jobs that lined up all at once? What have you been doing? Like what's your process been? If you have recordings, so I always recommend if you can record your setup calls or have a way to record your estimates, even just having like your voice app or voice recording app open. Listen to the recordings and see if you can spot anything that you might have missed. And then you can at least figure out what you're problem solving. So from there, you want to try to figure out the part of the process that's failing. So your setup call, are you saying the right things? Are you asking the right questions? Are you even calling to confirm these people? Are you making sure that both decision makers are there? Are you doing a trial close? Are you asking them their timeline? Are you actually asking all the questions that you need on your setup call to make sure that they're ready to make a decision at the estimate? Confirmations. What do I mean by this? Yeah, I think that's kind of the same as a setup call, setting the expectations properly. How is your first impression? Are you on time? Are you late? Are you dressed well? Are you wearing your logos? Does it look like you're representing a company, or does it look like you're a painter? The actual estimate. So are you following the perfect estimate process? Are you asking their objections ahead of time? Are you reselling to those objections? Pricing, is your pricing actually fair? Maybe you're way out, maybe you are way out. So looking at historical, at your job costing to make sure that your margins are actually in line with what they should be. What's your follow-up? Are you showing a sense of professionalism? Then you're going to problem solve what really needs the most work. Where did this go? I just lost it. Problem solve what needs the most work. And then you want to go back to the basics. Follow the setup call script, rewatch perfect estimate training, audit each step, work on your close pitch, relearn your objection handling tactics. And then again, moving forward, gather as much data as you can. Win rate, objections, decision makers, job size, lead source, so that you can, make a better decisions in the future. I'm just gonna exit here. So from you, Edgar, what it sounds like is there's probably a breakdown in the communication. If you're getting a whole bunch of like pricing objections, like a money objection just means that the value wasn't demonstrated properly. It doesn't mean that you were too expensive. It just means that you just didn't build up enough value. And what I found is that value buildup comes from the setup call, and it comes from making sure you're selling to their needs.